The marvelous Psalm 92 says, "The just shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall bear fruit even in old age, and will stay fresh and green to proclaim the Lord is just." Genesis 17, one of the first instances in the scripture where an elderly gentleman and his wife are shown by God to be part of an incredible plan. You know, up until about Genesis 10, things keep going wrong. As we say, after something went wrong in the garden at breakfast, right? They ate something they weren't supposed to. Things keep going so bad. By Genesis 10, God's looking around and says, "What did I let loose?" And it's as though God takes a step back. Should I have done this? And the very next chapter is Abraham. God starts, as it were, all over again, now not beginning with nations and languages and tongues, but with one human being and his wife. And he uses them step by step as they give rise to a hope and a promise and a legacy that carries on throughout the Old Testament and even into the New, even to the point where each day when priests and others, religious, maybe some of you, do morning prayer, we sing the canticle of Zachary, which is the canticle of an older man, and he mentions the promise to Abraham. So Abraham is a pretty important symbol for us. The scriptures are full of elderly people, but of course also full of young people. I like the example of Simeon and Anna, who are aged people who come to the temple at the time that the baby Jesus is presented, Santo Niño maybe, is presented in the temple. And Simeon sees the child with his mother and takes the child in his arms and blesses God. "Now you can dismiss me. I have seen your salvation." Sisters and brothers, human beings, even those of us who are older human beings, are always looking for that moment and we see God's salvation coming. For those of us who are Christians, who are Catholics, the first moment of that realization was when we were not quite conscious, when we were infants. Many of us, maybe most of us. That conscious moment may have entered us again at confirmation, at Holy Communion, and at our marriage, or at our priesthood or religious consecration. Moments at which God has shown us that the way of the just, though smooth, may occasionally be a road with some hurdles, but always a road on which we bear fruit. Simeon and Anna were elders who blessed God and saw the vision of God. And we look always for the vision of God. For those of us who celebrate the Eucharist, you know, even every day, right after the words of consecration, what are the words we sing, all of the assembly? When we eat this bread and drink this cup, we proclaim your death until you come. We're waiting for it. All of us are waiting for it. Some of us know it's happening sooner in our personal lives than others. But that's what our Eucharist is about. Our Eucharist is reality-based in the vision of Jesus in his death and resurrection and his coming again in glory. So if indeed the New Testament has wonderful older people in it, beginning with Simeon and Anna and many others, like some of the people Jesus meets on the road. St. Luke's Gospel is great on that. He's always meeting people on the road. We are therefore made aware that aging, part and parcel of God's plan, is part and parcel of us as a church. And that we must look upon those who are aging or who are old, elderly, whatnot, as people worthy not only of our pastoral assistance, but they are people worthy to be active in the church. 50 years ago, two religious sisters, Sister Teresita Parton and Sister Dorothy Saknik, started the Office of Aging Ministry in the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston. They envisioned taking the best national practices of care for the aging and through a pastoral lens, as it were, to guide those practices into the light of faith and into the churches, into our parishes, so that we could respond to the needs of our adults. I might add, in those days, I think responding to the needs of adults, aging adults, was pretty significant and important. But 5 years after that happened, the bishops of the United States issued a really beautiful, I don't know if it's a pastoral letter so much as a landmark pastoral message, and it was called Blessings of Age, a pastoral message on growing older within the faith community. And one of the significant aspects of that letter, and it's still fresh in my mind, and staying fresh in my mind in these days, doesn't always last as enduringly as it used to last before, one of the signs of aging. But I did read the letter last night through, and one of the things that came through was that the bishops wanted to see elders and older people and aging people not only for the pastoral plan of what we can give them, but the pastoral plan in which they are active agents. One of the most significant aspects of that letter is, remember, older people are agents of their faith, agents in the Christian community, and we should pay more attention to the aging community for that reason alone. Gifts of the aging still occur. Some people think that the gifts of the aging are past. We are grateful. We want to thank them. We want to say, yes, that's very good, but as though that their gifts have ended. And the whole point behind the bishop's 1999 message was, no, the gifts are still giving. The Lord has given gifts of life, grace, teaching, and the gifts of the aging people, even the elderly people, are the gifts that they've internalized a lot of what has been given to them, and they can speak it with an authority that someone younger may not be able to speak, even if they said the same words. It's because authority and truth comes with aging. You could say, yeah, but, and I phrase it because I'm over it. Yeah, but as you know, stupidity is a gift too, but let's not overdo it, right? So, as someone ages, yes, we're thankful for God that there are people who are aging that, maybe not be so bright. But the aging people who are bright are multiple. And nowadays, people are so active, even beyond what would have been true 25 years ago when the bishops first published their letter. People who are 65 and older, even into their 70s. It's amazing. People into their 70s, like I know some older people in their 70s, they can still do confirmations. They can still speak. They can still celebrate Mass on Sundays. It makes sense. Those are gifts that come with tongue-in-cheek, he said. So it's important that if we see it for our clergy, we should see it as well in those around us, in our families. There is no doubt, and the bishop's letter does talk about this, that with aging also comes loss. The loss is genuine. The loss is real. Not as sharp a memory. Not always the health that we once experienced. Those are things that come with aging. And we have vendors around here today to help us to think about those things and how we can alleviate some issues that come with that loss. A deeper loss comes, friends, as we know, as you age, you lose your friends whom you've known, who have died. And for someone in a family, when a husband loses a wife or a husband, that's deeply a loss, probably one of the deepest there is. And that changes your life of aging. We want to be attentive to those concerns and those needs that happen. And the bishop's letter does talk about that. It speaks how we can help to get people to speak out loud about what has happened, both in the greatness that has happened and the losses they have experienced. Every loss that we've experienced leads towards that loss of death. The bishops mentioned, interestingly enough, well, when you're young, you look for the next stage, like when you're 18, when you can get into college or get a driver's license or whatever happens. And when you're in the 20s, you look for what is the best job and role, perhaps the one you are going to marry. When you're in your 30s, what will happen to your family? Each age brings with it just some newness within this life. Well, when you get to your 60s and 70s, you know, what's the next step? Well, Jesus. He's coming for me. And I love it. Maybe not too soon, but he's coming. And the bishop's letter mentions this and does some really good lines. One of the lines they quote that's really taken with me since last night is John Chrysostom said, I'm talking about those who are your friends or family who have died and have gone before you. And he said, well, where are they now? He said, they're with you. They are you now. Because you're there with your memories, your experiences, your own life cycle. They're with you. It's an interesting way to think about those who are going before us. They are you. They are in you. So my thoughts today as we listen to Monsignor Borski, who is even older than I am, who is still incredibly intelligent and able to not only vocalize syllables, but able to make sense of words. And as we listen to him today, that you will get some good resources to take with you. As the Archbishop of the Diocese, I want to tell you, the leadership of parishes in dealing with any particular theme in the parishes, and one of the things that I want to be a major theme of our parishes is, how do we look on the older people? One of my great images of John Paul II is when I was first named a bishop and first saw him, and I was really scared out of my wits as the Bishop of Sioux City. I walked in and he was looking over a map and he was trying to find Sioux City, and we had a wonderful conversation about that. But the end of his message to me that day, as I got up the room to take a picture and leave, was, remember, don't forget the young people, and remember the human person. Those were the things he left me with. And if I could leave you with something, yes, don't forget the human person, and especially remember the aging people. They are true gifts. If you could take a legacy of them and put some of their memories and their truth into a video or something, you'd have so much richness in your parish. So, God bless you. God love you for the day. May you have a great time kibitzing. Some of us, when we get older, that's all we can do. But, you know, that's a gift too. May God give you grace and blessing as you pursue this day. Thank you very much.